What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Drementfh, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. We're back with Knightly Valor, our attempts to bring the light of the Lady at the Lake to the entirety of the old world. And it's been an up and down little battle. I mean, the Wood Elves have come out and taken Quenelle, and we're trying to antagonize them a little bit. But we don't want to go full on into war. They do have some major assets that are coming in. Could be bad. But they are currently at war with the dwarves, and Drementfh and his woodman army is outside of their borders right now, dealing with some other things. And I'm hoping that's kind of where this elven lord is going to be going to, is to go out that way. If they do, they're kind of leaving themselves open. We only have one glade lord over here to deal with, if we end up going to war with them. They don't really like us right now because we're kind of camping on Quenelle. It's Bretonian soil, and we're going to have to claim it. Up in the north, our Errantry war finally took its first city, giving us a base of operations. Now, since we're on to this turn, I kind of want to move the good Chaplain outside the city and put him into encamp stance so that he doesn't gain the nasty trait of Procrastinator. It's going to bring the order down a little bit, but we can deal with some rebels while these armies regen a little bit. They got a little hurt getting up there. Down in the south, Lord Eddie is kind of taking care of all three of these little cities, so it's not too bad. I just realized we're on turn 1, 2, 3, which is kind of funny. Phoenix is still going down to scout out this area of the map, and Arraby is somewhere in here, looking to scout out the Orcish lands. We are at war with the Orcs, but they're kind of a backseat sort of thing right now. I'd love to go to war with them, but if the Wood Elves are taking over Dwarven territory, we might have to go to war with the Wood Elves, so that kind of slams our armies into here for at least a little bit. Shilferoy, a lady we have to rename, and Lord Muffin. But what we can do, this will be Dame Elena. Helps if I hit the right button for that. Another sub into the game. Paravon's garrison is pretty tough, so we shouldn't have to worry about the elves too much. They can outshoot us in almost every regard. Our archers are okay, and we have a field trebuchet, but come on, they're wood elves. They're going to outshoot us. It's just the way they work. Thankfully, the Empire's dealing with most of the threats. They finally got rid of all of the vampire counts. It only took them forever and a day. But with that taken out, maybe they'll go to Akendorf through the, I think it's Blackrock Pass? Blackfire Pass? Somewhere around there. And start taking on the dwarves to give, or the orcs to give the dwarves some breathing room. The dwarves are kind of beaten back a little bit. Karak is a tough nut to break, but it is what it is. Now, we do know Wulfric the Wanderer is somewhere in this region, and we don't really have many defenses on the north, so we might have to raise another army, though we don't have the funds for it just yet. So we'll just hand it off to the other nations and see what they end up doing. Can't see any of the Wood Elf cities. It'd be nice to know if they were at war with them too. That army will probably move to Oakenhammer. Well, maybe not. Looks like I was wrong. I was kind of expecting them to take Oakenhammer and complete that little series there. Be nice to see, but not really going to hope too much on the Empire doing their thing. With them pulling southwest, though, they're kind of leaving Kislev open in the northeast, which worries me for several major reasons. Especially since most of our forces are off in the north right now. At least most of our good lords. We have a few back there, but we also have Shilferoy the Devoted, who is not great. And the Greenskins are heavily weighted against us. And there's Grimgor Ironhide. We know that the Slayer King is somewhere in that dark area. Be nice to see their armies go toe-to-toe. The Wood Elves technically are stronger than us right now. But they're not picking a fight, so that's always a good thing. We'll see if we see a sail on the horizon. They keep stealing technology, but I don't understand why. Is that Wulfric himself, or is that just one of their army stacks? The Dark Elves are being Dark Elves. We've been at war with them forever, but this is really the first time we've seen them openly, anyway. The followers in Igash are weird undead, following the Grand Necromancer. They did take Lashiek recently. We'll definitely take a trade agreement with you, because that's a lot of money coming into Bretonia. And having dwarves on our team is always good. Mithril armor is a thing, and it could possibly upgrade our weapons. It'd be nice if we had a couple army stacks over there to deal with Carragate Peaks, but that is seriously far away from Bretonia. So Cassian's ready for duty, though because he's the Lord of Paravon, we're not going to go to him right away. So Ahriman, let's get you to come down this way, actually, to the lands that we haven't explored too much yet. Try and get rid of the last of the fog so we know what we're dealing with. It's probably all green in here. Be nice if Khemri went to war with them. That'd be a good fight. And would definitely draw away some of the attention from us. Furix, you can keep going south to see what you can see. Teotika. So the last defenders didn't wipe out their lizardmen rivals down here. Interesting to know. We know the ratmen have those. The Empire has Zvorak. This is going to be kind of a weird situation. If the Wood Elves take Karak Budfar, or Bufdar, they'll be able to expand that way. I'm hoping that they divert more of their attention down through here, but we'll see. And Lewin, we're just going to get you to encamp right now. We're trying to annoy the Wood Elves. We don't really want to do too much with them right now. And the Paladin we haven't named yet. Let's send you down through here, see what we can see. Orion has a few really good units. Be a shame if we had to fight him. Orion's a really tough legendary lord. Alright, let's go up north and see what they're coming at us with. Norscan Ice Wolves, lots of Mammoths, Marauder Champions, Skin Wolves. It is not Wulfric himself, though. It is a level 8 Lord. So assuming that our armies can recoup a little bit.
My reputation precedes me, armored in faith. Blessings
One more turn, they'll have 240 extra soldiers each. They're not really regaining a lot of troops at the moment, but that's okay. Still have 4 turns before there's a rebellion that opens up here, and crushing a small rebellion wouldn't be too bad for us. What I'm really worried about, though, is the dwarves. They can't really suffer any more hits. I mean, they've got some scattered settlements and everything, but we need to be able to help them, which means it might be inevitable that we go to war with the Wood Elves. So let's just see what the other nations do, because we're kind of in a sit-and-wait position right now. Now, if the Empire got off its backside and started doing something, that would be perfect. Like going in and taking on the Orcs. I'm hoping they go after Eckendorf now. Balthazar Gelt is moving down to the southwest too. I'm hoping. Why do they always make me seem like a liar as soon as I say something? Franz, you just like making me look like a fool. It's kind of hard to believe that they have demigryph knights and greatswords running around in pretty much every army right now. It's such what you get for having such a solid and stable economy from the very beginning. They had a really, really easy time with the Empire provinces. A lot of them confederated without too much work. And I'm really okay with the Empire being powerful, because they're our allies, they're our friends, they're our buddies. Are you actually going to come in to attack? Oh, you're going to come in and raid. Unfortunately for you... Oh, Hexoatl has gone to war with Harganeth and Negarond. Or Negarond. So they might be pushing up through this little section right here. We don't even know how Hexoatl's doing. We haven't sent any exploration to the southwest. The fact that we're more powerful than Khemri right now kind of worries me. They've had a solid foundation for most of the game, and they're just kind of sitting there, not raising tomb princes and armies.
You are a guest in my realm. You will act like it, or I will strike you down where you stand.
Alright, Arcan. No, we're not signing a non-aggression pact with you. We want to keep neutral with all of the desert dwellers. And our dwarven friends in the Grey Mountains are headed down with 3 units of hammerers. Are those ironbreakers? Nice!
Do you wish the lady's favor?
We are not joining a war. Not right now. We've got enough on our plates. And we actually see some activity out of Kislev. We can all pretty much assume what's coming. We're getting up to the point where we might start seeing the Great Invasion. So we're going to have to deal with that pretty quick here. Oops, that's too far. So let's see. Do we have better intel on these guys now? That's a lot of mammoths. A lot of mammoths. 3 ferals, 3 war mammoths, Norscan warhounds, Norscan ice wolves. Man, they have almost no
Protector of the realm.
infantry.
Guardian.
Alright, Aitadon,
If the lady wills it,
how close can you
I
get?
go thither. My strength and wisdom are yours.
Can't get any closer than that, can
Honor
you?
before glory.
Here's what we
My
need to do.
reputation precedes me.
Grimaldus, we will
If you insist.
back you off a tiny bit.
Who
Aitadon,
I am.
you should be able to get a little bit
Very
closer
well,
than that.
go.
And Grimaldus, well, this could be a very interesting fight. Grimaldus, Phoeniux, Aitadon, and a very underwhelming garrison. To cope against that many mammoths, wolves, they don't have a lot of infantry, but our forces are still pretty hurt. However, if we can knock this out, could do a lot, but those mammoths are going to do a lot of damage before they go down. We do have Knights of the Realm to help fight them, but that's assuming they don't get into the middle of our battle line and just crush a bunch of infantry before it's all said and done. Well, let's gamble on 15. We do have a sorceress now. Looks like it paid off. So I want to deploy as far back as I possibly can, so we can get our reinforcements into the battle line as quickly as possible. So we'll deploy there. It's not a very strong infantry line. An even less strong archer line. This is all going to shift, of course, once we get to having our reinforcements join the battle. Put our damsel in the center there, and Grimaldus will put you over here. And then we'll start the battle. they'll start rushing towards us, and our reinforcements will hopefully be able to bulk up our line before anything bad happens. It's times like this I wish we had trebuchets. So many units that are under strength. We may have to collapse some of them at some point. Alright, let's just pause really quickly here. Our halberdiers are very, very, very tough. But let's look at our infantry line. You're infantry. You're infantry. So are you. So are you. So are you. I might as well throw the Grail Relic in there. Now let's get you set up in a proper infantry formation. Now for archers. Do a little bit of shuffling. We use our cavalry to kind of hit the enemy as best we can. Send our yeomen off to this flank to try and confuse them a little bit, I hope. Group up these knights errant. Get them over here if we can. We have another couple of units of archers, which we'll set up behind these units of archers. Let's just speed it up a little bit, see if we can get our troops in position before they actually come on down. Looks like they're kind of letting us set up a battle line before anything happens, which is nice. And Phoeniux and Aitadon, let's get you up near the archers here. Pull those yeomen back. Put the Knights of the Realm out onto that flank. Now it's just a matter of hoping they come into range of our archers. Alright, so the Norscan Warhounds got hurt. And we actually broke and routed them. No, we're kind of playing at high speed right now. What are you guys? You guys are the Lion-Hearted. Get you to move in a little bit. If we can eliminate the enemy's flanks and skirmishers, then we can set up an actual battle line and be set. And here they come. Alright, so let's just pause real quick. Let's get these Knights of the Realm and our yeomen to charge in. Have this edge of the line kind of reform over to here. Have our Knights Errant reset with them. All of our Knights Errant over here we can get set up with the Knights Lion-Hearted. We're going to be coming up to the crunch here pretty quick. Looks like those skin wolves are charging in. Or not. Again, it is the mammoths that worry me.
Show us the foe! Bring them! For the king! Northward!
That line of 6 mammoths is very, very, very disconcerting. Our archers should be opening up here pretty quick. If we pause just slightly... Where are the armored war mammoths? There's a war mammoth. Alright, so instead of waiting for the crunch to come to us, we are going to charge out and do what we can to engage these mammoths on our terms. Which is not going to make a whole lot of difference to our peasants, who are going to get pretty screwed up in all of this. But Grimaldus, you can fly over and take on Lemondal. Hopefully deal with it that way. You Knights Errant can take on those wolves. You Knight Errant can go there. And our Knights of the Lionhearted, you can charge into the Skin Wolves too. Phoenix, let's get you and Aitadon to come up a little bit in the line. And Grimaldus, we're kind of relying on you to actually win the fight with him. We're going to lose a lot of troops to those mammoths. I'm just hoping our archers can kind of tip the balance a little bit. Charge into that war mammoth over there. Grimaldus, you're going to stay on that unit, or on their leader. We're going to send our knights after that. Turn our infantry around. If we can chase the mammoth off the map, we should be good. It's all about dealing with the mammoths at this point. And it looks like we chased their leader off the field. So their morale should be suffering now. Still don't think it's going to be enough to deal with the massive amount of damage that those mammoths are dealing. Just need to break them enough so that we can end up taking them out. And good, we chased this mammoth over into the corner, and it's winning decisively against some Knights Errant, but nothing we can do about that. We have to kind of swarm and swamp these guys. Any archers that are still alive and available, hit that guy. Actually, you Pullman, let's get you onto that mammoth. Aitadon, let's get you the heck out of there before you die. Alright, let's make sure that Aitadon gets some buffs on him so he doesn't go down. And we are going to let our knights try and chase down and kill as many of these mammoths as we can possibly deal with. we can knock out, for sure, a couple of them, that would be great. There's a mammoth down. I think that's as good as we're going to get. We lost a lot of infantry. And Aitadon got pretty hurt. Wasn't exactly my intention to do that. We might have to combine some units and start rebuilding these armies from the ground up, calling in lots of troops. And of course we're going to execute the captives. What did we end up actually destroying from them? Aitadon got a bailiff, so more control in the province. We killed a feral mammoth. And managed to rout the rest of it. Didn't even get to kill their lord.
My reputation precedes me.
Let's bump you back. Put you into in camp.
Do you know who I am?
Put Ada into in camp, and he gained a skill point. So we're going to make him hard to hit. Seems appropriate. Alright, Grimaldus, we're going to actually combine these two units.
Lord of Breton.
And these two units.
Blessings of the lady be upon you.
Those two archer units, and those two knightly units.
Protector of the realm. Lord.
Wow, the polemen we just got up here are already kind of screwed up.
My reputation precedes me.
Phoenix, your army looks alright, except for that one unit of 6. So let's merge you into the 35.
Valiant Lord.
And that should leave us a fair number of units to recruit with Grimaldus. Let's grab him a couple of units of polemen. Another unit of archers. Let's go with flame archers too. Still suffering a bunch of unrest up there, but that's gonna have to be fine for now because there's not much we can do and our troops are really exhausted. Love to get one of these full hardcore units up there, but we kind of can't. Just gotta let things go as they are. So let's let the other nations do their thing and see what they get up to. And I forgot to move our heroes again, so we get to watch them move. Something hit there. I think Ahriman's just about to complete that entire circuit, because there's the Bitterstone Mine. And the yet-to-be-named Paladin is moving to the southwest. Ooh, there's an Orc army there. So hopefully the Empire comes in and starts doing... Whoa, those are double gold rocket batteries. Nice. And a single gold organ gun. And they're going after the Orcs. I am okay with this. That's a double silver steam tank. Holy crap. So why didn't you take the city then? And Franz is going to probably take Oak and Hammer. Man, their economy must just be off the charts. Though they are using a lot of army stacks, so they could have fees we don't know about. Why aren't one of you guys... Ooh, there's a rebel army possibly preparing to take an Orc city? It makes me wonder, why aren't a lot of other people trying to do some stuff to stop this? Why didn't they take Ackendorf? Sometimes you never know with the Empire. I mean, we're 125 turns now into the campaign, and I still haven't figured out what Franz's plan is. I don't really know what my plan is either. To send you beautiful people all around to screw up the Errantry War in the north and deal with Norsca? Because if we can really turn that into a blessed area of the Lady and get a actual castle up there, not just this little port city that we've got, we'll be sitting pretty. But if we can't, we might have to recall those Errantry wars, because they're pretty hurt. And we still have the wood elves to deal with, and you never know what they're going to do. It's really sad to see Varenka Hills and Baragvar and all the fucking Carracks. I should say friggin', but I didn't. And it's sad to see them in Orcish hands. I mean, oh, that's Wurzag. What the heck kind of... Is that a troll or a giant? But seeing all this in greenskin hands is kind of frustrating. I mean, I don't know what to think about it, really. If we screw up Norsca bad enough, we might recall either Aitadon or Phoeniux to come and lead a campaign against the orcs. Or we might have to select a new hero to rise up and help us out. That guy is still within our territory in raiding, but we'll have to deal with it for now. As long as he's raiding, he can't replenish, so I'm not too worried about that. Seeing those mammoths that strong gives us time to replenish our infantry, get some more polemen up there, hopefully deal with them. You never know. Could happen. We might actually have to put a new general in place of Lord Eddie and make Eddie go on a crusade against the orcs. I mean, it's physically possible to get from Arraby into the Orcish heartlands and start taking territory there. I just don't want to leave Arraby completely defenseless. I mean, after this unit of knights gets destroyed, because they're going to go after Xandria again. We know they are. We could just confederate with them, or we can confederate before that, bulk up Eddie's army, send him out to like the Stone Mine Tower, Majorca, any of the cities that are in there, and possibly take over an Orcish city and start moving into the east, into the orcs. That's actually not a bad plan. What would it take to get you guys to confederate? I know it's going to cost us a lot in gold.
No.
So you won't confederate with us, but you probably will after he's all said and done.
Do you know who I am?
Eddie, you actually have a very solid army. And we haven't used you for much during the campaign. So we're going to get you to move all the way up to Al-Halik. Haik. And I think it's going to have to be the Myrmidons. We're going to go and take the Myrmidons from the orcs with Lord Eddie. Is there anything we can do to bulk him up a little bit more? Because I think he doesn't even have the Knight's Vow, so those 2 units of Knights Errant are costing him a lot of money. But if we give you a couple of units of polemen, we should, in theory, be able to get you up a little bit more. Alright, so the unnamed hero, if we're going after the Myrmidons, we need to scout it. Oh, that's Baelgar Ironhammer. He was one of the lesser, or the other legendary lords, the Ghost Lord, King, sort of. And now, before I forget, let's make sure Furix and Arimon get to move. You're going off into some very, very scary lands. We haven't seen the undead in a while, but they're not completely gone because they're probably in Lamia still. And also on that note,
Ready to serve.
Ahriman, if we're going after the Myrmidons,
Death before dishonor.
you can get over there too, scouting out the possible reinforcements from the east, because it's the capital of this region. It's not got a very big garrison. So Lord Eddie, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get you to go up against them. And we'll give it at least one more... Kind of need the map. Oops. Sometimes I swear I can't read or do anything properly. There's my map. So we'll let these jerks raid some more.
Yes.
It's not helping us, but we've got reinforcements coming up in a turn. And it'll allow these troops to rest and regenerate.
My strength and wisdom are yours.
Can Chaplain
My
even
reputation
get...
precedes me.
Well, we can't check while he's recruiting troops. And Farrier's is coming up on our next turn, so let's let the other nations do what they want to do. We'll see how it goes for us. So Lord Eddie, we are kind of counting on you to completely screw over the orcs. Not only will it push what's left of the dwarves into being more stable, it's going to gather some territory for us in the border kingdoms, unless they go after the Myrmidons with von Leibwitz. Some of these names I can't pronounce. But if the Empire goes after it, we can always switch targets to one that's closer. And we're still going to do it. No matter what, we're going after some Orcish territory. If we can conquer a few of them and start steamrolling that way, it'll benefit us in the long run. More places for income. And it would allow us to have more infantry units, but we really don't need to worry about that too much right now. I wonder where Franz is going. Seems to be maybe he's going after the Orcish territories up in the mountains. The Greenskins are almost on par with us strength-wise now, which is a little weird. They must have taken some losses against the Empire or the Dwarves that we didn't see. In fact, I haven't seen their big guy, whose name keeps evading me. I know it. I can see his... Oh, Grimgor Ironhide. Why is that so hard for me to remember? I have no idea why. But it is, apparently. And... he's in a raiding camp now. So instead of just straight up raiding, he's in a raiding camp, which will allow him to regenerate those mammoths a little bit. Followers of Nagash, they haven't really pushed out too much, but we can't really trust them either. Kind of want the Knights of Origio to go, so that they can go over to Xandri, lose that army, and then we'll confederate with us. That's usually how it works with these guys. Not this turn, but next turn.
The supplicant come forward.
Oh, Kislev is finally coming to the table. Yes, we'll take a trade agreement. That's definitely a bonus. Kislev is a pretty powerful nation, though not as advanced as you might think. They still used winged lancers and hussars, and they're based off of Tsarist Russia. But they're incredibly brave warriors in the fluff, and we are very, very lucky to have them as friends. They've been holding back the forces of chaos for longer than anyone can remember. So, what we're going to do, kind of need to get timber industry. Let's go with the registered draft. That'll reduce our upkeep on pretty much everything. I know it's not giving us... it's kind of hard, but this will take down our upkeep pretty significantly. We know there's going to be a rebellion up here. There's nothing we can really do to avoid it. And Lady Janice has leveled up, so she's got the Amber Spear and Wission's wild form. Oh, it's kind of hard to pick one. Let's go with Wild Heart, and then we can max out Amber Spear as we go up. Alright, so, if we look down here, looks like the Empire's going after the Myrmidons. And before I get ahead of myself, because we have a lot of plans for this, that's probably going to do it for this week, guys. With Lord Eddie heading up towards El Haik to get ready to go onto the ocean and go after the orcs. Might have to land at Grunty Mingol and head in that way. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, guys, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, see yourself pop up in this or other Let's Plays, just hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes out. And remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.